If you're preparing to join the Royal Marines, listen carefully. More than 90% of applicants fail, not because they're weak, not because they don't want it badly enough, but because they're not mentally prepared. We live in a culture that's soft, fast food, instant gratification, and shortcuts. Young men spend hours watching motivational videos, flicking from one influencer to the next, hoping something will finally click. That's not preparation, that's distraction. In the core, motivation is irrelevant, discipline is everything. If you're relying on a good mood to train, to study, to hold your standards, you're simply not ready. If you want a clear example of what mindset under pressure looks like, look at Colour Sergeant John Prettyjohn's Victoria Cross. John Prettyjohn won his Victoria Cross at the Battle of Inkerman in the Crimean War. The terrain was brutal, visibility was low, and there was heavy fog covering the battlefield. Russian forces were pushing hard and they'd taken up position in a set of caves overlooking the British line, using them to target officers and gunners. The order came to clear the caves, and the task fell to the Royal Marines. Corporal Prettyjohns and Sergeant Richards led their division forward. They took the caves, but shortly after, ammunition began to run dry. That's when Russian troops began advancing up the hillside to retake the position. With little to fire back with, the Marines were nearly out of options. John Prettyjohns made a decision. He instructed his men to gather stones and pile them up on the ridge in front of them. When the first Russian soldier reached the top, Prettyjohns grabbed him and threw him back down the slope. His section then opened up, not with bullets, but with a well-organised barrage of stones. It stopped the Russian advance cold. Their section held the ground. That act, improvised, aggressive, and completely dependent on decisive thinking under pressure, earned John Prettyjohns the first Victoria Cross ever awarded to a Royal Marine. Not because he was the fittest, not because he was the strongest, because when it got messy, he didn't panic, he led. Getting a pass on the PJFA or showing up to the gym 4 times a week is a great start, but there's so much more that goes into it. So how do we start creating a strong, resilient mind that can get us through the dark times? Here's 10 ways we can start chipping away at weak mindsets. Number 1, stop chasing motivation. It's not about how you feel, it's about what you do. Discipline is a decision made daily. 2, set a wake-up time and stick to it. Get up early, no lie-ins, no snooze button. Start your day on your terms, not by accident. Number 3, train in poor conditions, cold, rain, darkness, none of it matters. Train outside, train wet. Get used to discomfort now, you'll face plenty later. 4, build non-negotiables into your day. Daily training, stretching, study, kit prep, clean rooms and houses. Number 5, eat to perform. High protein, clean carbs, whole foods. Hydrate properly, cut the takeaways. Food is fuel, not a treat. 6, train for function. Running, load carries, circuits, swimming, pull-ups, grip work. Don't chase aesthetics, train for output. Number 7, study daily. Royal Marines history, Commando structure, geopolitics, current operations. Know your world, be switched on. 8, look sharp. Iron your clothes, shave properly, boots polished, hair squared away. Details matter. Standards in appearance reflect standards in thinking. Number 9, prioritise sleep. No screens before bed, no caffeine after 1400. Get 7 to 8 hours consistently. Sleep is where recovery and growth happens. And number 10, cut out weakness. Vaping, porn, scrolling. They're distractions and they erode discipline. Get rid of them. Start acting like you're already in training. Live by the core values: excellence, integrity, self-discipline, humility, courage, cheerfulness in adversity. Prettyjohns didn't wait for backup. He didn't moan about lack of ammo. He used what he had. He took control. That's why Royal Marines look to the likes of him as great examples of leadership and courage. And that's the DNA of a Royal Marine. Do what needs doing, especially when it's hard. Don't wait to start at Lympstone. Start now in your day-to-day lives. You'll always fall to the level of your preparation. Make these changes in your life and you will put yourself in a fantastic position, not only for training, but anything you go and attack. Don't leave any stones unturned. Be proud of your efforts and have a long-term mindset as opposed to a quick fix mentality. The choice is yours.